Hello?
Brandon,
Yeah.
who were we talking about when we got cut off?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
We were in the middle of talking about Tyreek Hill, and then that's when it fucking shut off like a piece of
Okay.
shit. Alright, so we are back. Guys, I'm sorry about that. My computer, from time to time, is a piece of shit, and it literally will just pop up a blue screen saying, an error has occurred. We need to restart your computer.
Got disconnected.
So, yeah. So, that's what happened, and we are back now, and we're joined again by Dad. So, all right, Dad. Anyways, go back to talking about Tyreek Hill.
Well, you got to move me over.
Oh, shit. I forgot to fucking... Hang on. I gotta move my fucking shit over. What the fuck, little bitch? Okay, there we go. I moved myself over now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I got a couple guys on that I think are top 10 trade candidates, but I don't think they're going anywhere. Tyreek Hill's one of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely see why you want Tyreek Hill out, because where he's been a problem, got arrested on opening day, talked shit on Twitter, started shit in the locker room, all that. I can see why you want him to be traded. But what you said also makes a lot of sense on why he won't be traded. But if he was to be traded, the two teams I could see him going to, and it's very weird because they're both in the same division, but I could see him being traded to the Chargers. I think the Chargers would be a really good fit because he would have a very strict coach there, and Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh, whichever one he is. And then I think it would also be a good fit because he would have Justin Herbert at quarterback, and Justin Herbert needs a wide receiver like that. I feel like Justin Herbert would also benefit from Tyreek Hill being there. And then
that was the rumors that came out.
Yeah.
That were,
Yeah.
From a reporter came out that to watch out for the Chargers. But that's just Tyreek Hill and his posse spreading rumors, trolling like he always does. All right, cool. So the next one I have.
Well, hang on, Dad. Hang on. One more thing. Sorry, I had one more team that I think Tyreek Hill would go to, and that's Kansas City. I think Kansas City.
He would go back to Kansas City.
He would go back to Kansas City because I feel like Kansas City would benefit from him. Patrick Mahomes could go being back to the regular Patrick Mahomes that we've seen, not taking anything away from the man. He is by far the best quarterback in the league. But, they fell short this year, and I feel like they could definitely use that little bit of push in Tyreek Hill if he came back there. So I could also see him going back to Kansas City.
Yeah, and I can see, and I can see what Rich said too. Rich said Tyreek Hill to Baltimore.
That would be another good fit. That would definitely help out Lamar Jackson.
Basically, he needs to go to a team where he can quit being a fucking pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Quit being a little whiny ass bitch. And any of those teams, Harbaugh with the Chargers, Andy Reid, or Harbaugh at Baltimore, they'll hold him fucking accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's what he needs. But the Miami's head coach will not hold him accountable or hasn't learned how to do it yet. There's another guy that I have next up that I believe he's not going anywhere either, but there's tons of rumors because he's due the big payday, and that's Micah Parsons with the Dallas Cowboys. He's coming off a 12-sack season, and it's time to pay him. It's time to pay up. Yeah. Will Jerry Jones pay up? Will Jerry Jones, this is my prediction, Jerry Jones will drag it out all summer
Oh,
long.
yeah, you already
So
know he is.
everybody's always talking about the Cowboys. That's what he'll do. That's what he'll do because it's not a football team to him, it's a business. But what I don't understand is how in the hell how will they do it? How will they pay Dak, pay Lamb? You know what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
can they pay everybody? So
Dad, real quick before I get into telling you what I had to tell you, I gotta read you Rich's comment. This is funny as fuck. He
yeah.
said Tyreek Hill said he had to work through his tall women fetish. I get it. I'm so done right now.
Yeah, he broke well, supposedly they're in court right now, but he broke a leg of a plus size model.
Yeah, I know.
That
I've
was
seen
playing
I've seen
football.
that. Yeah.
And then he come out recently this past week saying he has a fetish for tall women or something. I don't know. He's
Oh my
so
god.
he's such a dumbass. But anyways, I'm ready to move
Uh,
on from Tyreek Hill on this, and as a Dolphins fan, I'm ready to move on from him too. But
yeah.
Micah Parsons, what do you think about Micah Parsons? Do you think Jerry
Um.
Jones has the balls enough to trade him?
I don't know, but
This is a guy still under his rookie contract
yeah,
in his
yeah,
prime.
yeah.
Ready. He's
I
he's
mean,
in his prime.
this is all I gotta say. If Jerry Jones is stupid enough to trade Michael Parsons, I personally hope it's somebody in the NFC East, just so Michael Parsons can beat the fucking living shit out of the Dallas Cowboys 2 times a year. Because that would be stupid as fuck to trade arguably the best player on your team and by far your best defensive player on your team. But this is the thing, Dad. They gotta pay Lamb, right? They gotta pay Lamb,
They've already paid
and
Lamb and they've already paid Dak.
well, this is the thing. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Dak Prescott is the highest paid player that's gonna be a cap hit this season. He's due $85.3 million or some shit this season alone.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty significant. And then did he already give Lamb a new contract, or do they have to give Lamb a new contract?
No, they already gave Lamb a contract.
Oh, okay.
Micah Parsons is the next one up.
Okay,
He's the
so
one
you
to
got it done with
do a
Lamb.
contract.
You got to figure out the situation with Dak Prescott, but I definitely, if I'm being honest, I think Jerry Jones is going to do what you said. I think he's going to drag it out to last minute, and then he's going to finally wake up and be like, yeah, Michael Parsons is a beast. We cannot let him walk away, and they're going to figure out a way to get a long-term deal done with Michael Parsons. So,
Yeah. And one thing to think about also with all of this is Lawrence, their defensive end, their big time defensive end is also a free agent. So you can't pay everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Rich agrees with us. He's the Cowboys fan.
yeah.
He agrees with us. They'll drag it out. Jerry Jones just wants the Cowboys to be in the news all summer long. But I think that he will eventually end up figuring out how to pay Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I totally agree. Okay, next up, what about George Pickens? George Pickens has talks a lot of bullshit. He's a good wide receiver, 900-yard season, only 3 touchdowns. Kind of not as bad as Tyreek Hill, but it's kind of the off the field stuff is the reason why. It seems like Pittsburgh has a long record of finding really good wide receivers that are just a tad bit crazy, and then leaving there and then sucking the rest of their career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. But George Pickens, the weird thing about him is I think this is very much a trade possibility. And I think Tomlin is the coach that would do it if George Pickens keeps running his mouth. But George Pickens is still under his rookie deal.
Yeah.
That's the thing to remember. You know what I'm saying? He's still under his rookie deal. The team that I would like to see him go to is the New England Patriots.
Really?
Yes, they need a true number one, and George Pickens is a true number one.
I don't know. Is he?
Yes, by far.
George Pickens is good, but I don't know if he is a true number one.
Okay. All right. He's better
But
than the other guys that are going to be in free agents or traded this year, like Cooper Cup and Debo Samuel.
hell
George
no.
Pickens is a million times
Hig-
better than either one of them.
Higgins. If Higgins is out there, I'd rather have T. Higgins than George Pickens.
Okay. Well. Okay. We could skip over George Pickens then, because T Higgins is next on my list.
Well, okay, hang on. Let me talk about George Pickens real quick. So,
Okay. 900 yards, only 3 touchdowns.
yeah.
Didn't have a great season. Likes running his mouth. Off the field.
Yeah. Yeah, George Pickens definitely does have some concerning issues off the field, which kind of scares me because he reminds me a lot of AB, and you know who AB is, Dan? He should definitely be locked in a mental institution. So, but that's beside the point. That's who George Pickens kind of reminds me of off the field shit. But on the field, yeah, he's a really good wide receiver. He makes really good cuts. If you give that dude a one-on-one situation with a cornerback, he's almost as fast as any quarterback or cornerback in the league, and he's probably going to blow right past them. George Pickens
He needs a quarterback that can throw him the ball. Is what he needs.
Yeah.
So.
And we already know if he hooks up with Drake May is going to be the younger version of Josh Allen, but not choking playoffs. So
right. Well, that's the reason why I like him going to New England is because of the quarterback. So I think it would be good.
So I wouldn't hate seeing George Pickens come to New England. He definitely would be better than all of our wide receivers that we have there. It's just concern about, is he a true number one? So,
I think he's a true number one. I think if he gets with a good quarterback, we'll see it. He's a great contested catch guy. He's the high point. He can high point the ball. He will fight for it, come down with it. He's tough. He blocks. He's a good blocker. In the running game, I mean, he's a tough guy, dude. He's a tough guy. I think he's a true number one. I think he just needs some help. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Vrabel also might be able to fix that off the field shit.
Yeah, there you go. So. Whip him up, whip his ass into shape. So there you go. All right. So next up, there is a couple guys that I want to talk about before we go any further. I think they're going to be getting traded, or there's a really good chance they're going to get traded. But I think it's going to be interesting because the tag just started today. I think both of these guys will get tagged and then traded, so they could have more time to think about it, more time to work on a long-term contract with them if they really want to.
Okay.
But then I think they'll both be traded right before the draft. And first up is stick with the wide receivers. I think T. Higgins, 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. My prediction is that he's tagged and traded. I also have picked New England as one of the teams that he goes to. I'm trying to think of wide receiver needy teams. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guessing you believe T. Higgins is a true number one, even though he's never had the opportunity to prove that.
T. Higgins is a true number one, and the only reason I say that is because the only reason he hasn't been able to prove that yet is because it's a similar situation like in Miami. Like Jalen Waddle is a true number one, but he hasn't been able to prove that yet because where he's sitting behind Tyreek Hill, and that's a similar situation in Cincinnati. T. Higgins is a true number one, but he hasn't been able to prove that because he's sitting behind Jamar Chase, which is a better wide receiver. So, but even with Jamar Chase there, T. Higgins still puts up a lot of numbers. He still made hella contested catches and everything like that, and you can tell that Joe Burrow loves him as much as he does Jamar Chase and everything and all that. So I definitely think that T. Higgins is a true number one for me.
Okay, I don't see, my personal opinion is I don't see too big of a difference between T. Higgins and George Pickens. I do agree that T. Higgins is a little bit better, but George
Yeah.
Pickens is also still on his rookie contract.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So you're also talking about money. You're also talking about not having to pay a guy as a true number one right off the bat.
Yeah.
About Pickens, I like what Rich said in the comments. Pickens could be good paired with a really solid number two, kind of like AJ Brown and Smith, or probably even Tyreek Hill and Waddle, that sort of.
So let's say that he did come to New England. Are you saying the pairing would be KB and Pickens?
Do what?
I said, let's say he does come to New England, right?
Who?
Pickens.
Okay.
Would that pairing be KB and Pickens?
No, I think you need a better number two.
What? You don't?
You
think
need like
Kendrick
a 1A.
Bourne?
You need like a 1A.
Okay. Well, what about Douglas?
I think you get George Pickens to come and then draft Travis Hunter.
Well, we could do that, or do you think Demario Douglas, or whatever his name is a true number two? He was pretty good this season, and
I think those guys are number two and number threes. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith could be a number one on a lot of teams. Jalen Waddle could be a number one on a lot of teams. That's what he's talking about. It needs a compared. Pickens needs a Robin to his Batman. You know what I'm saying? Where they're both.
Yeah, but Travis Hunter, I read a report the other day that Travis Hunter is going into the scouting combine listed as a cornerback.
Yeah, but any team that drafts him and does not play him on both sides of the ball are complete idiots. He would.
Can a player even play defense and offense?
Yes, definitely.
I didn't know if they allowed that in the NFL.
Yeah, they play as much as they want. But you would play him. It would be a split, probably.
I'd be down to see him in Christian Gonzalez and in him as our number two.
Oh, they would be shut down. You would have two shut down corners.
Oh,
that would be pretty awesome. Well, let's not talk about the draft yet. We're going to be talking about that. Okay, so T. Higgins. T. Higgins, do you think that he will? Okay, let's just start here. Do you think he'll be tagged?
I do, yes.
Yeah, I believe he'll be tagged also. We live close to Cincinnati. We get a lot of Cincinnati news. Everybody in Cincinnati thinks he'll be tagged. New England drops a wide receiver at number 3. Yeah, I think so too.
I'd be cool with
that. Except Travis Hunter's the only wide receiver that's good enough to go that high. And that's because he plays corner. But anyways, my whole point is, okay, I think he'll be tagged. Do you think he'll be traded? Or do you think that they will find the money and sign him to a long-term contract?
I do think he's going to be tagged. I do not think he'll be traded. Everything I've been hearing around the NFL, around that organization, is that T. Higgins wants to be there in Cincinnati. The organization wants him there long term, and so does Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow said that they are not trading him. So we'll see how true that is. But yeah, I think he stays there in Cincinnati. Now, if I had to give you a team that I would love to see T. Higgins go to, well, first and foremost, it would be New England, because that's my team, and I just love T. Higgins. But
that would be your true number one.
Outside of the bots team that I would love to see him go to, Dad, and you're going to probably agree with me on this, is the Washington Commanders. I would love to see him and Scary Terry on the same fucking team.
Scary Terry
and Jaden Daniels would be badass with both of them.
Yeah, Terry needs a number 2 or a strong number 1 like he is. So he needs some help over there. Washington Commanders would be awesome if T. Higgins went there. Dude, what if they swung and got Myles Garrett on defense and T. Higgins on offense?
Bro, we'd be talking about the fucking Commanders going to the Super Bowl next year. Like, what the fuck? They almost made it this year. Got blown out by the Eagles, but if they got both of them, I think that would push them over the hump for sure.
Right. The main reason why I think T. Higgins will get tagged is to extend the window. you know.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think he'll be traded, and it's because we need to have this discussion, because the guy that led the league, the defensive end that led the league in sacks with 17 and a half sacks, is also on that terrible defense they have, Trey Hendrickson, and he's up for a contract. He needs to get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how are you going to, and you have to keep your best defensive player, right? I mean, you got rid of Lou, Captain Lou, your defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You brought in another defensive coordinator. You have to keep your best, the guy that had 17 and a half sacks on your team. You have to keep him and retool that defense around him, right?
Well, this is my thing, Dad. Okay, so when you're comparing Trey Hendrickson, you said that you've seen a couple of reports that Trey Hendrickson could be traded. I'm seeing Sam Hubbard. So we got to compare the two, right, and break down
Sam
which
Hubbard,
one would you
Sam
rather
Hubbard,
see.
just for, if you want to set them side by side, yeah. Sam Hubbard can get traded. He can get cut. He only had 2 sacks. He had 2 sacks compared to 17 and a half sacks.
Oh yeah, you know I definitely agree too. But
I mean, he's a good player. Mm-hmm. He's a good player. He's a good good player. He's not a good pass rusher. So
how? Hell no.
That's crazy. Richard put in the comments, Higgins goes to Kansas City for pick 31. I would do that all day long if I was Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. If I was Kansas City, I would definitely do that. But if I was Cincinnati, I'm not doing that. And for the sake of the NFL, please, for the love of God, do not get Patrick Mahomes, somebody like T. Higgins. If Patrick Mahomes has someone like T. Higgins, he's just straight beating the fuck out of everybody.
Right.
Like the AFC wouldn't even be competable.
Yeah. Yep. So, I totally agree. But it's because of Trey Hendrickson. You have to pay him. You paid Joe Burrow. You paid Jamar Chase. You have to pay Trey Hendrickson, your best defensive player. You cannot get rid of him. He's young. No.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of him. How are you going to find the money for T. Higgins? I don't think they're going to be able to pay T. Higgins unless he takes a team-friendly deal.
Yeah.
Now, I know that Joe Burrow said he would take less money, or he'll restructure his contract if he wants to keep Higgins, all that kind of stuff. I don't see that happening. I think he'll get tag and traded. That's just my opinion. There's one more tag and trade we need to talk about, and then I'm going to wrap this up. And I believe that Sam Darnold will be tagged and traded. I do not think the Minnesota Vikings are going to keep him, but I think they're going to tag him. What do you think about Sam Darnold with the tag and trade? Or we could kind of start with Sam Darnold had a great year, 4,319 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions. Do you think he can duplicate that? Do you think that's who he is moving forward, or do you think that was just a one-time thing?
Nah, Daniel Jones. Sorry, Sam Darnold is the spinning image right now. He's giving me major vibes of what's up, Daniel? Happy Tuesday to you, brother. Sam Darnold is giving me hella vibes right now of Daniel Jones, Dad, and I'm so glad that Minnesota is deciding that they're going to tag him and trade him, or that could be potentially what they've done, because I seen a report just a couple of days ago that said that it looks like Minnesota's not even going to tag him, and they're just going to let him go by the wayside and hit free agency, which I think would be stupid, because this dude had almost 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. My only thing is that I'm going to
only 12 interceptions. That's pretty good. 35 touchdowns and only 12 interceptions.
Yeah, only 12 interceptions. And I'm going to throw this at you, Dad. This is what I want you to understand, okay? This is what I need you to comprehend in your mind right now, okay? You're looking at a dude that is literally the Texans, like 10 years ago or whatever. They paid $62 million for a dude by the name of Brock Osweiler who had never even started a game in his life. Right. So you're telling me if you paid Brock Osweiler $62 million, you're telling me that you ain't about to get hella fucking shit for Sam Darnold back? Nah, it would be really smart in Minnesota to franchise tag and trade Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is going to be ass this coming season. And whatever team he goes to is going to have really bad luck, but the Minnesota Vikings is going to be living off of what they get for him.
Who do you think would trade for him?
It's going to be a quarterback-hungry team. I could see
Raiders.
him going to the Raiders. I could see him going to the Browns. Yep. I think the Browns could be a team that says fuck it and gets in there and trades. We know how stupid their fucking organization is. On top of that, so I can see the Raiders, the Browns, the Colts potentially, but I don't know if the Colts are stupid enough to do that. But I think there's a couple of teams, but man, I feel like whoever does go get Sam Darnold is gonna have to throw their first pick plus more out there to Minnesota.
Cool. I would pick the Raiders or the Browns. Sam Darnold seems destined for the Raiders. Yep. Yeah, Rich agrees with us in the comments.
I don't know. See, my only thing is the only reason I don't want to see him go to the Raiders is because I know how this season's going to turn out for him and it's going to be ass. And the dude running the show over there for the Raiders isn't that fucking stupid. He's the best quarterback in history. Tom Brady's running the show over there for the Raiders. So why would he be like, fuck it, we're going to go get Sam Darnold who's going to be ass?
You don't know if Sam Darnold is going to be bad. You don't know that. He's
going to be another Daniel Jones.
I understand that, but he had a really good season. And I think
look what happened. Daniel Jones had a really good season. They're like, yeah, fuck you, Saquon Barkley. We're letting you walk. Keep Daniel Jones. What did Daniel Jones do in that season? Dog water. He was fucking straight.
And now he's just a halfway decent backup. Yep. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I don't know. I don't know if Sam Darnold can do it again. I know that if he goes to the Raiders, the bad part about that is he's not going to have anybody to throw the ball to. And in Minnesota, he has great wide receivers. So that's something to think about. I mean, he has Brock Bowers.
I guess. He has Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers isn't bad.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers is the number 2 trying to act like a number 1. Though. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. But they'll get somebody. They're going to bring in some help also.
I don't know if... Oh, wait. Do we got another one?
Nope. Those are I do have a bonus one. I got a bonus one. Those were my top trade candidates. But I do have a bonus one. You want to hear it?
Who?
This is out of the box. You got to think out of the box. But Kirk Cousins, do you really think that the Atlanta Falcons is going to pay him $27 million to be their backup quarterback? Now, for this trade to work, Atlanta's going to have to want to get rid of him. It's going to have to be like almost like a Russell Wilson kind of Denver kind of thing. They're going to have to pick up 15 million of that 27 or something, maybe even 20 of that 27, and almost give the guy away to somebody. Yeah. Do you think Atlanta is really willing to pay $27 million to Kirk Cousins as their backup quarterback? Because they have to start Penix, right? Yeah. The way he played at the end of the season.
Yeah, Penix is by far going to be their starting quarterback. And I 100%, this shouldn't have even been an out-of-the-box situation. I think 100% that Kirk Cousins is going to be traded. I think Atlanta's just going to say, fuck it. They're going to give that $15 million up. They're going to get something back in really good return. Just like I said, that whoever takes Kirk Cousins
if they paid
$15
million, paid $15 million, it has to be to a team that can pay. How much would that be? $12 million. Would you pay $12 million to Kirk Cousins? I would. $12 million is worth Kirk Cousins. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
paying him
no, no.
27
What
million.
I'm saying is like okay. This one I'm saying okay. So
Richard, who you talking about going to the Giants? Sam Darnold
Sam
or Kirk
Darnold,
Cousins? Oh,
Sam
Sam Darnold.
Darnold. Yeah,
I can see Kirk
I
Cousins
could
going to the
see Sam
Giants.
Darnold going to the Giants as well as I could Kirk Cousins too. But this is my thing, okay,
Sam
Dad?
Darnold back in New York. That would
Is
be pretty funny. I wonder if
my
he'd see Ghost again. Like they probably live in that building. You know what I'm saying?
oh my god, I'm so done right now. Um, but no, this is my thing, okay? So my thing is this is if you're okay, this is my thing. So when Sam Darnold gets traded, right? They're gonna get something back in really good return. Minnesota is for Sam Darnold. The same thing's gonna happen for Atlanta, and I think that's why Atlanta is 100% willing to trade him because yeah, they're gonna have to pay $15 million to him to get him out of there. But they're gonna be like, okay, we're starting Penix. He's our true number one quarterback, and we could possibly get a first round pick and maybe even more for Kirk Cousins. So that's what's gonna drive them to do the trade. And someone like Indianapolis, I've seen him rumored to go to Indianapolis, New York Giants, Cleveland Browns. I could really see Kirk Cousins going to Cleveland.
Does
Someone
Cleveland
like
have the
that,
money? I don't know what their cap space looks like.
well, I think they're like negative 23 or 34 million or some shit.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, there's gonna be some quarterback hungry team like that that's just like, fuck it, we weren't Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think Atlanta's going to be like, we need this guy gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they need him off the books. They need to get rid of that contract, and I think they'll pay to get him out the door.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's all I got on my list. A few I've heard some rumors about Max Crosby and the Raiders. Max Crosby is not going anywhere, y'all.
No.
Calm the fuck down. Max Crosby is the face of that organization. He's not going anywhere.
100%.
There's obvious ones which I didn't put on this list because I don't think these guys are very good anymore, and that's Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel. I think they would go in. They'll go in places. They need to go. I think if you need a number 2 wide receiver, go for one of these guys because they're going to be awesome if you can match them up with a good number 1.
Yeah.
I would love to see either one of those guys with Scary Terry in Washington. Either one of them, Deebo Samuel or Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
They're just not number 1s anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to take, especially Deebo. He's going to take a special set. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be a special set for him. So I didn't even really want to talk about those guys very much, and so that's my list. What do you think?
I think it's a very good list. Before we get out of here, I did have a few screenshots that I took earlier that I wanted to do a review of, Dad. Now, this one, I don't know what the fuck this is all about, but apparently T. Higgins' mom came on Twitter just about, I want to say about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and all she said was selfish bastards. And I don't know if that was supposed to be towards the Cincinnati organization or who she was talking about, but that's all she tweeted was selfish bastards. What do you think about that, Dad?
I don't know because I don't know who she's talking about. She might be talking about T's daddy. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know who she's talking about. Maybe she mad at her son. Maybe he did something to hurt mama's feelings.
Yeah, I mean, that could be true. Okay, here's a really interesting one, Dad. I've seen and I wanted to get your take on this. The Steelers have interest in former Giants quarterback Daniel Jones.
Wow.
So how do we feel about that?
I seen that. Daniel Jones. Why?
Hey, Mike Tomlin has something special with quarterbacks, though. He can take any quarterback and make good.
Yeah, and he likes the running quarterback too, so I can kind of see that with Daniel Jones. I don't know. What is their plan? What is Pittsburgh's plan at quarterback this okay, they're not keeping Russell Wilson, right?
No.
Okay.
There's no way in hell that they keep Russell Wilson. I thought they were going to keep Justin Fields, but from what I'm hearing is they're going to let Justin Fields walk. So
you can't let Justin Fields and Russell Wilson both walk. If you do, you don't have a quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe that's why they like Danny Dimes. Is that who you said?
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Yeah.
Man, I'd rather have Justin Fields than Danny Dimes.
Me too. Any day of the week. But the last one
maybe they bring both of them in there and let them fight. That'd be a good fight to see who wins the starting position. That'd be good. I think Justin Fields would whip his ass though.
Me too.
Don't get me wrong. I think Danny Dimes would be a good number 2. I'd love to have him in Miami as a backup quarterback to Tua.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is a good backup quarterback. He's just not a good starter, man. He makes too many dumbass decisions. But here's the last one I got for you. The red-headed rifle has been signed to a new 2-year quarterback.
Yes.
Or to a new 2-year deal.
That's kind of a coaching thing. They've hired him to be on as their quarterbacks coach kind of thing. I mean, he's going to
Bryce Young did come on at the end of that season. He was just whipping the fuck out of some good ass teams.
He's practicing with the Red Rifle, man. They're doing some good stuff down there. So that's pretty good, man. I think that's good. I'm glad to see that. Kind of upset because I was kind of hoping he would come to Miami as the backup quarterback, but that's okay. There's plenty of other decent backup quarterbacks in the league. I'm good to see. I hope the kid really gets it together and can put a whole season together. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
For the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody understands we're going to be doing similar stuff to this.
Yeah.
This was just trade candidates. We're going to be talking about free agency and my top free agents. We're going to talk about that shit. And then, of course, we're going to be going into the draft here pretty soon. Just so you know, Brandon, I wanted to tell you this. Run through some dates with you.
Mm-hmm.
Today, February 18th, started the franchise tag. February 24th to March 3rd, we got the combine in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
March 10th is the legal negotiation period.
Yeah.
You know, that they used to call it tampering, whatever. That starts at noon on March 10th. March 12th starts the 2025 league year at 4 p.m.
Okay.
That's just over the next month. Between now and not even a month.
Yeah.
So between February 18th, March 12th. That's cool. And then, of course, that's kind of what we'll focus on. And then we got the end of April, we got the draft. So
yeah. Well, for anyone that doesn't know what the hell Mr. McDoffin over here, a.k.a. my dad, is talking about, we are going to be live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for NFL Boy Podcast. This is season 2, episode 1.
Hold on. Rich is mad at us. He said, you guys want to keep giving Washington some damn talent. They're good. I think they got enough over there. They're good.
Hey, listen, Rich. I'm sorry, all right? But no, we're going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night doing this right here for you guys. Like Dad said, we started with trade candidates next week, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about free agents. We're going to be taking a look at probably the top 25 or so free agents and trying to predict
McDoffin's
where
top
they
10
could
free
come.
agents.
Okay, we're only doing top 10. Come on, we got to do at least top 10.
We'll do more than that, but we're going to do my 10 just like we did my 10 favorite trade candidates.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. So we'll do free agents next week, and then I want to, in between the time of the scouting combine, I want to start draft coverage. I want to break down what we've seen from the guys on the field, who we thought was the best out there, and what teams we think they should be drafted to. Yeah. And everything like that.
And start trying to do some predictions. By the way, Rich in the comments has told us why T. Higgins' mommy is so pissed off. And that's because he gets franchise tagged. That stops him from getting paid the most amount of money. So,
okay.
But his mommy doesn't understand that tag is just to prolong the situation. He's going to get traded, and then at his new team, he will get a good deal done.
Yeah.
So there you go. She don't know that part yet.
It sounds like Mama Higgins is pissed that she ain't getting her nails done this week.
Yeah, that's what it is. Come on, Higgy, give Mama some money. She need to go get her nails done. Shit.
All right, well.
All right, I'm off here, y'all.
All right, we will see you guys on a Tuesday night of next week. Until then, we are out of here. Peace.